The worst part about this whole situation is we still don't know what caused it, right? It just repaired itself. I wish we could have figured out what the problem was so we could have fixed it and then moved ahead. Wish it was still doing it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're back with the 1978 Kawasaki KZ750. Those of you guys who don't remember, this is the motorcycle we took for a walk. Don't mind me, just walking a 50-year-old motorcycle. Guys, this motorcycle is one of the 14 motorcycles that we got started in, that we tried to start in that big 2-day Will It Run video that we did. So we got it to run and decided we'd take it for a little ride, right? As you guys saw that, I didn't make it far. I made a left turn off our road and that was it. Dang, didn't make it far. Smarter people probably would have turned around right then, pushed it home, sorted it out. I rode it, got it to run, it stopped several times, and then it stopped again for good. Then I pushed it home. What I've done to it since then was every time I'd walk by it, I'd turn the key on, and if I got lights here, I'd push the button, and it would start. Now, I have done that probably 50 times. I have not put a jump box on it since then. I would get no power, it's it. It's just, I may have charged the battery. It's the same battery that was on it. I didn't put a new battery on it, it's the same battery. Let me make sure of that. This is the original battery that came with it. So it's working. We're going to see how good it's working in just a moment. We'll test the voltage and all that other stuff. But what I figured we'd do today is take all of your comments from the previous video when I broke down and had to push it home, and to see your suggestions. And we're going to do them all. Let's be 100% clear. It's running right now and I didn't do anything. I forgot. One thing I did do after starting it about 20 times, just it being in the garage, every time I'd walk by it again, crank it up, I loosened and tightened the ground on the frame and checked this one to make sure it was good. None of them moved. The ground on the frame was tight, it wasn't corroded. All I did was zip it and zip it back on. But that wouldn't have made a difference. It would have if it was loose, but it wasn't. And there was no corrosion around it. So I didn't even take it off. That, and then the other thing, just a few moments ago, I changed the spark plug on the right side because it looked like that. And I popped it off, put a new one, an old one that I had on the shelf, stuck it in, and it works. So let's go through this and check everything all the way around. Let's start by checking this battery, my multimeter. Right here, we're going to go positive, positive, negative, negative, something like that. We're at 12.46. Let's start it up. Key on. Voltage drop with the key on, which should happen. With that. It seems to be charging, so mark that off the list. We're going to check our connectors right here. So we're going to check our connections right here. It's working, but we're just going to do it anyway. Okay, one of them was to check this fuse and to make sure my fuse hasn't separated, right? And what I mean by that is where sometimes they'll come apart at the glass fuse. This will spin. You look at it, the fuse is not broken, but it's separated right here, and you'll have a bad connection. But this one seems good. This is good. Oh, that end just came off that wire, so that could have been our our power loss. Let's pop this guy out, put a new end on. So we went ahead and put a new end on here, and let's go ahead and plug it in. Okay, good. Now we can check these fuses. Make sure they're all good. This one is the main, this is the headlight, then this is the tail light. So the caps look good. It's not loose. It's all of these connections back here look to be good. Okay, let's start it back up. So let's move on to the next thing. But somebody else mentioned that they had one of these and the seat pan would short out and it would cause it to cut out. So, hey, took an old piece of inner tube, cut it, jam it right there. We'll cover that. Can't hurt. Okay, let's go ahead and get this ground off right here. And I'll show you here. It's in good shape. See it right back here. It's in good shape. I'm just gonna zip it and then zip it back on. Back on. So that's that one. Okay, let's start it back up again. There was another one that said to check my switch. So I'm gonna spray a little PB blast on the inside, and we're gonna key it a bunch. It does seem more clicky now, and what I mean by that is that before it was a little loosey-goosey. Seems like it's more of a substantial click now. So far, we've checked our battery connections, ensured that our positive cannot short out on our seat pan. We checked our fuses to make sure they weren't broken, which they were both a-okay. We did find a loose connection here. We did lubricate our switch, which is now a little more substantial click than what we were getting before. And the other thing that we did was we did check our ground here, our main ground here, which was good. Next thing we're gonna do is pull the tank, check the coils. But before I do that, I want to share one other thing. There's a couple of comments about at low speed, low RPM, you would see a red light. That red light on the dash, which is a brake indicator. That just lets you know that your brake light, that you're using your brakes, as if you didn't know. Who knows? Kawasaki, wanted to make sure we knew. Just wanted to fill you guys in on what that red light was. So let me go ahead and turn this petcock off. This petcock is so stiff, it's ridiculous. Probably should have waited to fill the tank until after I did all this stuff, but I put gas in it. Okay, there's a couple of tins in here. I'm just going to loosen them up. I'm not going to take them completely out because of the position that I'm in. Oh, that one came out. But I'm going to screw them back in. Just want to make sure that they're nice and tight. I just loosened them and tightened them back up. Checking all the wires in here. I want to make sure all those are good. Everything's good. Everything seems to be sorted. Okay, let's see if it'll start back up. Done that. We checked our coils, make sure they were good. Apparently we have good spark on both of them because it's running. Okay, let's check our points. So let's go ahead and clean these up. They look pretty good. I mean, it's firing. I've got good spark on both sides, but this, like I said, it can't hurt it. So we'll just hit it with this little emery board, and then we'll hit it with a little, I like carb cleaner just because it flashes off pretty quick. Okay, let's go ahead and put this guy back on. But to no change, which is good and it's bad. I mean, it's good because it's running, right? It's bad because we still don't know what the problem is. What did we do? I didn't do anything. I did a whole bunch of stuff, but to no change. It's kind of nice when you actually have the, you can actually see the problem, right? As opposed to just, oh, let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, I need to put some fuel in my external fuel tank. So I'm gonna test this petcock on run to see how it's working. Not so good. Not so good. So that could have been some of our running issues. Let's see if it flows better on reserve. Again, it needs a new petcock. Trying to do this one-handed. And trying not to snap it off like that. Trying not to do that. So, it is now dead. Don't know what happened. You saw everything we were doing. We just tested the coils, cleaned the points, all that stuff. The only thing I was doing was I was gonna sync the carbs. I had the DigiSync hooked up the auxiliary fuel tank, and I went to put the key in from the seat where I'd opened the seat, and now we have nothing, no juice at all. Now let's figure out where it is. Okay, so let's test our battery, see what we have. We were at like 12.3 earlier, 12.39. So we still have juice here. So where are we losing? Let me get the test light. Go. Okay, we got negative. Do I have good ground? Let's see. Did I lose my ground somewhere? Did I lose my engine ground? Huh. Grounder here. Nothing else. Yeah, but it didn't touch anything. Let me go here. See if I'm losing ground somewhere else. Okay, let's see. I should have ground here. Yeah. Ground here. Here. To my engine. Yep. So I got ground to there. So I'm good on my ground. It should be going back the other way though. Let's see. Right? Unless I just had a bad connection. Yep, okay, I'm good. I must have just had a bad connection on my... So my ground is good. Let's see where I'm losing. Let's see where I'm losing. Should have battery connection here. I'm not gonna have connection here because that's on my starter button. Right, that's on my starter button. I wonder if it comes on with the engine off. Oh, hold on. Now I have power. What did I do? You tell me, what did I do? Hit in the comments down below. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Guys, what did I do? Really? It's working now? Okay. Am I crazy? That was not coming on earlier, right? That was not coming on earlier. You saw it. Really? All I did was test, make sure I had power, and then I started testing down here. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, I didn't do anything. This just came on. It was already in the the on position. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know down below. I am perplexed, confused, a little flabbergasted. Insert whatever adjective would fit for that. But let's keep going. The worst part about this whole situation is we still don't know what caused it, right? It just repaired itself. I wish we could have figured out what the problem was so we could have fixed it and then moved ahead. Wish it was still doing it. Okay guys, we may have found the challenge. See, we're on here. If I wiggle this wire right here, it looks like God, it was doing it. See, I get it. This is not, I get losing stuff. See how it's blinking? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's one of these wires in here. It's not very good. So, yep, now we're out. Oh, now we're back on. Okay, looks like we found it. Okay guys, if you had bet bad ground on DraftKings.com using the promo code Motorcycle Rewind, you would have won a whole lot of money. Let's see if we can go ahead and fix it. Okay, I went ahead and crimped this again, so that's nice and tight, and I added another ground just in case. The only one I had was a cable that would reach to right here, so it grounds the frame, and this other one goes straight to right down there at the motor mount. So we're just, even if we lose this one, we should be okay with what we have going on. So let's put the tank back on and see what we can get. Okay. 1978 Kawasaki KZ750 test drive, take 2. We're still gonna have to do some carb work, but that's not for today. First things first. Let's let it warm up a little bit. Oh yeah, it's way better now. Like I said before, we'll have to do some carb work. But as long as it's not going dead on me, we're good in the hood. Okay guys, so we made it to a little bayou stop on in Big Branch, and it's running considerably better. We still need to do some carb work, I know that. I'd rather carry around a wrench and a screwdriver and just tune it as I go. It is considerably better, and what I mean by that is because it hadn't turned off yet, and we got juice. That was our task for today. Thanks to you guys, we had a whole list of suggestions of where to look, and we were able to go through it, and we found that one bad connection. And sometimes it's not at the ends, but it can be in the middle, and that's where this one was. It's awesome. We're gonna let it cool off, and then we're gonna ride home, sit back and look and see if we can find an alligator or two or three. Guys, I seriously think we sink these carps, it's gonna be really nice. It's really good. It pulls really nice and strong. Now that we're running on 2 cylinders all the time, a little cleanup on this guy and it'll look really good. You know, let me know what you think. This is the first time I've been around a KZ750, and I really like it. It's nice, it's comfortable. I could see spending some quality time on it. The riding position is really, really nice. These bars are comfortable, they're a comfortable location. I'd probably like them tweaked up just a little bit, not pulled back so much, maybe tweaked up just a little bit. I think I'd like that a little bit more. But yeah, everything else is, the seat is super comfortable. And just so you guys know, I did pack tools just in case. I got extra spark plugs, spark plug wrench, Phillips and flathead, there were a couple of wrenches, things like that, pliers, just in case, because that's a whole lot better than just the baby knife. But the baby knife does come in handy. I want to send a huge shout out to all of you guys who posted tips and suggestions in the comments of the previous video. That helped a lot. It's sometimes when you're in the middle of it, you can't see it, right? Can't see the forest for the trees. Guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get a good run in the neighborhood.